Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the fascinating blueprint of how educational experiences are actually built. You know, if you've ever sat in a classroom and wondered, why am I learning this exact topic in this exact order? Well, you're about to find out. Okay, let's kick things off by imagining you have to design and deliver the absolute perfect lecture. How do you even begin to structure that? I mean, do you start with what you know best, what your students actually want to hear, or, what the school board strictly demands? It's a massive challenge, and honestly, how we answer that completely changes the entire educational experience. To answer that, we've got to look at curriculum development models. Think of these as the master blueprints for organizing logical, efficient, technical scientific educational approaches. They're essentially guidelines that help designers systematically plan out teaching, learning, and evaluation strategies. Literally, it's the invisible architecture behind every single class you take. Here's our roadmap for today. First, the curriculum blueprint. Second, Tyler's top-down lecture. Third, Taba's grassroots approach. Fourth, Wheeler's continuous cycle. Fifth, using these models today. And finally, comparing all three models. Section 1. The curriculum blueprint, setting the stage for educational design. Section 2. The top-down lecture. Ralph Tyler's 1949 deductive model. So to really grasp this blueprint, we first need to understand that these foundational models actually moved education away from abstract, free-flowing ideas and into structured, logical, and efficient systems. Our first stop is all the way back in 1949 with Ralph Tyler. I want you to think of his model like a department head just handing you a completely fixed syllabus for your lecture. You're basically just there to deliver exactly what the administrators decided, based on what they think the learner, society, and subject specialists need. It is heavily top-down. Planners high up the chain decide the goals, and teachers, well, they're just expected to implement those instructions. And check out his deductive linear 4-step sequence. It's incredibly straightforward. Step 1, you start with general educational purposes or goals. Step 2, you provide the experiences. Step 3, you organize them. And Step 4, you evaluate attainment, basically testing to see if the students actually learned it. It's literally just a straight line from point A to point B. Section 3, Taba, the grassroots approach. Hilda Taba's 1962 inductive model. Now, jumping ahead to 1962, Hilda Taba comes along and completely flips the script. The absolute crucial point here is contrasting Tyler's top-down administrative mandate with Taba's inductive grassroots approach. In her view, the teacher is the most realistic and important factor in the whole equation. Taba argued that, hey, since teachers are the ones actually interacting with students day in and out, shouldn't they be the ones designing the curriculum instead of just blindly implementing someone else's plan? So instead of being handed a syllabus by an administrator, Taba gives us a really detailed 7-step process. And notice how it starts with diagnosis of needs. This is like pulling your specific room of students to see what they actually know and what they need before you even draft a single lecture objective. From there, you formulate the objectives, select the content, organize it, choose exactly how you're going to teach it with learning experiences, organize those activities, and finally evaluate. It's totally inductive. It builds from specific on-the-ground student needs all the way up to a general design. Section 4. Wheeler, the continuous cycle. D.K. Wheeler's 1967 cyclical model. Fast forward a bit to 1967, and D.K. Wheeler makes a massive realization. Education isn't just a straight line with a hard stop at the end. He argued that evaluation is absolutely not the final stage. Instead, a curriculum should be a continuous, totally flexible process. So testing students at the end of the term, that's really just a way to gather feedback so you can make the next lecture even better. He structures this whole thing into 5 interdependent elements, heavily focused on situational analysis. Look, you still determine your aims, goals, and objectives. You still select your learning experiences and content and then integrate them. But the real magic, that happens right at the end. Step 5, evaluation, feeds directly back into Step 1. It creates this continuous loop of optimization. The curriculum is just constantly adapting and evolving. Section 5, using these models today, the anatomy of a modern lecture. So you might be wondering, how does a teacher actually use these older theories in a real classroom today? Well, they blend all 3. Think about it. A modern educator takes the mandatory state standards as their overarching goal. That's straight out of Tyler's top-down playbook. But then they'll survey the classroom's unique interests to tailor that daily lecture to their specific students. Boom. That's Taba's grassroots perspective in action. And finally, they'll use final exam results and post-lecture evaluations to revise the syllabus for the next semester, completing Wheeler's continuous cycle. It's a perfect hybrid. Section 6,
comparing the three models, synthesizing the evolution of curriculum theory.
Bringing all this information together right here, you can so clearly see the historical shift. I mean, we literally go from Tyler's rigid, linear, sequential structure all the way to Wheeler's cyclical and continuous one. And notice the shift in the starting point, too. We move from top-down institutional goals under Tyler to focusing on learner needs with Taba, and then to situational aims with Wheeler. But most importantly, look at the primary actors. We go from administrators just handing down the rules to teachers actively guiding this continuous, evolving feedback loop. It's a massive paradigm shift. As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to really think about your own educational experiences. Ask yourself, are you sitting in a Tyler, Taba, or Wheeler classroom right now? Is your learning experience just a strict top-down mandate? Is it a grassroots exploration tailored to you? Or is it a continuous cycle of improvement? Because once you understand the blueprint, it completely changes how you see the building. So what kind of blueprint is shaping your mind today?